Lead us in the pledge of allegiance, if you would, and Chester Davis, would you say a prayer for us, please? Yes, sir.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our gracious Father God, it's again that we bow on our heads in Jesus' name. Thanking you, God, for another day's journey. Thanking you for the country that we live in, and, oh God, the good life that you've granted us. We again thank you, oh God, now for the council as they sit, and, oh God, take care of the business of the city. We pray that you bless their minds and their hearts, oh God, as they do things in love and in unity. We thank you now for their audience, oh God, and we pray that you give us understanding. And remember our nation as a whole, oh God, as we look at our new presidency and the new authority that's in place. Bless us and keep us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I now call this meeting of Fort St. James City Commissioners to order. Yeah, he's close. First, we have the consent agenda, regular commission meeting on 2/7/17. Everyone had a chance to look those over, need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Have a motion by Commissioner Bazip, have a second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lowry. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, this time we have a proclamation that I'd like to deliver. Proclamation concerning Black History Month. If Amy, you would come up, and Chester, you would come up. We'll get both of y'all up here tonight.
Well, you gotta pull somebody else, one up here too, that's gonna get
Well,
you in between, pull somebody else up here.
I thought I was white.
Yeah, you will, but you can't count, you go white
I
and
don't
black.
get the camera.
Yeah, you don't get count, you go white and black, so you gotta get somebody else up here.
Joanne, when you come up and stand with us while we read this proclamation, I get my glasses. It's with honor that I read this proclamation tonight in honor of Black History Month. It says, from the city of Fort St. Joe, Florida, a proclamation for Black History Month 2017. Whereas Black Americans have made outstanding but little known contributions to the history of the United States. Whereas an appreciation of this heritage and contribution is essential to the development of a sense of worth and pride in any group. Whereas an understanding of the contribution of the other groups is essential to the development of better intergroup relations on the part of all American youth and adults. Whereas as Black History Month has been observed in most American communities since 1926, during the period which includes the birthdays of those two great champions of freedom, Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. Whereas Black History Month is celebrated across the country by millions of students, parents, educators, schools, governmental agencies, and organizations to raise awareness of the contributions of Black Americans. Now, therefore, I, James Bo Patterson, do hereby recognize February 1st through February 28th, 2017 as Black History Month, and I call this observance to the attention of all our citizens. In witness thereof, I have underneath my hand and seal, James Bo Patterson.
Thank you, Brother Whitman.
Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank y'all. All right. City Attorney.
Yes, Mayor. How are you guys doing this evening?
We're doing good.
All right, we have a couple things on the agenda. The first thing being is a resolution between from the City of Port St. Joe, Resolution 1702, a resolution by the City of Port St. Joe, Florida, to support renovation of the Port City Trail with Recreational Trails Program in Florida, funding and providing for an effective date. It should be in your agenda on page 6.
Jim, could you give me a little bit of update on exactly what this is we're doing,
Yes,
please?
sir. This is the grant that's actually being filed on behalf of the city by the county. The county is working on this for us, and what we need to do is we need to show that we are in support of this grant. And right now, we're working on our CIP plan. This is not included in our current CIP plan, so we want to make sure that this will be incorporated when the new update that we get next month, and to go ahead and show support for it.
So this put it in, show support and put it in our capital improvement.
our CIP plan.
I make a motion that we approve. If, anybody's got any questions, you can save it for discussion.
I'll
Are
second.
you okay with
We have a
that?
motion by Commissioner Thursby, second by Commissioner Lawrence.
Yeah, I was just gonna note that the county required this, for the grant, because the county was applying for it.
And we want to thank the county for that too, because that's a great deal for us and everybody in the city. Thank you.
All right.
The next
Say aye.
item,
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. And for everybody's information, Commissioner Ashbrook is, not feeling good tonight. He probably won't be, he's hoping to be, but I don't think he's gonna make it. All right.
the next item, that I need to mention is, the funeral home lawsuit, the Max v. the City of Port St. Joe and Watley Funeral Home Services LLC. All the responses are in, and that is scheduled to go to oral argument in front of Judge Fishel on March 14th at 2:30 p.m.
March, what was that?
14th at 2:30 p.m. And the last thing on my agenda is I spoke to Mr. Studstill, Clayton Studstill, the local attorney, who was the only one that put forth a request for proposal with regards to the special master position. And he was a little confused as to what happened in that, and that's why he kind of wrote a confusing proposal that put a $270 minimum on the case. He didn't understand that Richie basically handles all the scheduling and stuff like that. And so to make it just simple, he's just charging $125 an hour. That's what he agreed to do. I told him I'd go back and let you guys know. Just for your information, the last special master, the contract was $75 per hour, and that was signed in 2006. So I don't really think it's that much of a leap to say that's pretty reasonable.
There shouldn't be too many of those that come up, so I'll make a motion and accept it if everybody's.
All right. Motion Commissioner Lowry, have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mazette. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
No.
Motion carries 3-1.
And that's all I have this evening.
Yes, sir. First item I have is a reference to pickleball court. At the last meeting, we talked about having a discussion with the school. I did reach out to, Superintendent Jim Norton. He has been tied up the last couple of days. I did leave him a message and told him we were trying to look at the pickleball, so I am working with him to see if we can come up with a plan for the pickleball, but I've not heard back from him at this point.
Jim, while we're talking about the pickleball, and maybe didn't hear from the last discussion we had, what is the drawback of us, in Mexico Beach, I rode out there and looked, and they have, lines for pickleball, they have lines for tennis on their own tennis court, and I'm not against, let's also doing maybe something with the city. But what is the drawback for us doing that at the tennis courts down here?
We did talk about that a couple of years back. I think what we had was we had the tennis players that didn't want the lines on there and the pickleball people that wanted their lines there. So I think we had trying to compromise is to figure out if it was really going to interfere with the tennis players versus pickleball players on where the lines were.
And guys, what I'd like to explain to y'all is, I went out to Mexico Beach and looked it over, and, that's the way they've been doing out there for quite some time now. They got two different colors, and my understanding is it doesn't create a problem. If you're a tennis player, you know what color that lines that you need to follow, and then if you're playing pickleball, you know what lines you need to follow. I'd like for us to consider maybe putting it on the agenda for the next 2 weeks to, let's continue doing what we're doing, but unless y'all heard a lot more drawback than what I have, I did hear some drawback from one person, and, not being ugly, and I'd like to help that one person, but it was only one person that didn't live in the city of Port St. Joe. So, unless y'all heard more than I have, let's look at that over the next couple of weeks and see what y'all think. That's all I got.
And you're talking about just painting the striping that we
Yeah.
have in the
Striping it for the pickleball?
court downtown?
Yes.
Okay.
And that doesn't mean I want to do away with working with the school board, because I really believe this pickleball has taken off, okay?
I agree with
But what I'm saying is in conjunction, until such time the city can build their own, get something worked out with the school board, I don't see where it's a big problem for us to go down there and put the line so that both people whether it be a tennis player or a pickleball player, can't make use of the facility we have.
Agree.
That's all I got, guys.
The next time we have is the workshop we have scheduled for this Thursday. It'll start at 5:30. We're going to talk about the utility billing and the boat ramp fees this Thursday at 5:30. Okay. The next item I have is in reference to city manager's contract. I think I've had a chance to talk with each one of you on the contract that's actually coming due. You have a copy up there in front of you for your consideration.
What I see is a current, salary with no increase, just, the increase that's given to all employees as a cost of living, adjustment. And Jim, you have been getting that though, right?
Yes, sir. That was given to all employees back
Yeah.
in 2014. We didn't get one in 2015 and 2016. Y'all gave every one of us one in the fall.
Right, right, so you're.
It's
current-
already in there, yes, sir.
You're currently
The salary last week will be the same as next week if you were to approve that contract.
Jim, I've looked this, contract over pretty good, and I guess that if you wouldn't have felt good about the contract that you have in front of us, you wouldn't have presented this when you'd made some changes and asked us to go with that. Are you okay with everything on here? Cause I do feel like you've done us a good job. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
I'll make the motion that we move forward with the contract in front of us, guys.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Thursby, we have a second.
I'll say.
Second by Commissioner Lowry. All in favor say aye. Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you, gentlemen. The next item we have is a reference to the grant writer position. We talked briefly about it at the last meeting on there about trying to come up with a temporary position. We gave the first draft we put in there for you to look at on page 7.
I think 20 hours a week is a little much to start with. That equated to about $16,000 a year. I think we need to go slowly and, but I do think we need to look into getting one. I'd like to see it no more than 15 hours per week, 16 hours, that's 2 full days. And then possibly there's some folks that have Fridays off that have experience with it, might wanna get some extra work and, look at it in that regard. So I'd like to see us no more than 16 hours a week.
Yeah, let me ask you, my question would be, is this something that we're looking for to come up with for maybe the next budget season? Because I know at this time we don't have money budgeted for this job.
That is correct, yes.
Okay, is that what you're kind of looking at?
It is. What we did was we started talking about how many grants that we've applied for in the last couple of months on there. And we need to start trying to gear up to make sure we apply for every grant we can. So this isn't something we gotta do today.
But let me ask you this, Jim, because I don't know this, but I believe I believe I might know this, is that there are people out there that do grant writing, and they do grant writing basically on a basis of, okay, if you get us this grant for $1 million at 10% for that grant, you made 100, whatever. Are there people out there that do it on percentages, and that way maybe the city's not putting money out until such time they do acquire a grant for us?
I'm sure there's people out there we could look at. We started talking to some of the bigger companies. We talked to a company out of Jacksonville one time and a company out of Tallahassee just to see what the big boys charged.
Sure.
Most of those wanted a retainer plus hourly, so they changed the game from what it used to be. You're exactly right. Years ago, that's the way you had grants. You know, you looked at it and you said, okay, you'll get 10%. But some of these grants don't allow for that anymore for administrative fees too. So the
Okay.
playing field's changed some.
Okay.
But that is, we could be looking at that way.
And some of your grants too, I mean, that administration fee could be brought back into the city, you know, because you got your own grant writer.
Sure.
That's right, exactly. If you don't have it in the, if you just, let's say, for instance, you hired somebody at $15 an hour, there is sections in a lot of these grants, like Commissioner Lowry said, that allow for X number of dollars or percentage for administration fees, it could come back in, that could help cover the cost of that salary.
Okay,
So that's
Yeah.
one way to look at it, good idea.
right.
And also, Jim, checked around some of the cities around us, and very few of them have their own grant writer that's just a grant writer. Most of them, have other duties within their municipality or the county government or wherever they may work. It's not just, I'm just gonna do grants.
Well, and, you know, I was under the impression that that's what we had now. But I feel like that the duties have probably outweighed being able to just do that, is what I'm hearing. So if that be the case, then I just know that we're on a short leash as far as spending money after this year's, ad valorem taxes came in. I don't know, guys, that's just something I think we definitely need to look into. I think it's a great idea. We just gotta know the best way to pay for it.
My deal, I just don't wanna miss out on some opportunity that we could have, you know, with another full-time employee doing this part-time. They've got other duties, you know, and, you know, some things come before others. And I just don't wanna miss out
Brett,
on.
you're familiar with, how does the county do that?
County has a full-time
Grant writer?
grant writer, well, I say full-time. It was full-time, before economic development came on, the county.
Okay.
So now our grant writer does economic development, is the economic development secretary.
So Chris, basically.
Chris is
does the-
secretary.
Secretary does the grant writing.
That's right. But handles all the county grants, which is a lot, but, I think we just need to keep on talking about it. I mean, moving toward, budget, I mean, it's extremely important to me.
And I totally agree that it would be great because we're missing out, I feel like, every day on grants. I just want to do it the way that most cost effective to the taxpayers of our community, and I don't know exactly what that is at this point.
And I don't want us commissioners hounding our grant writer, have you applied for this grant, have you applied for this grant, or have we missed out on this? You know, we shouldn't have to do that, you know,
Right.
from day to day, so, that's all I got.
All right, we'll keep working on it.
Is everybody in agreement? When we do look, we don't need 20 or 16, we're doing enough? Or part-time?
I'd say let's just continue to talk about it
Sounds good to me.
and, brainstorm toward budget, see what we're looking at.
I'm in favor of that, Brett.
All right.
The next item we have is the Commerce Park lot contract. At the last meeting, we had an offer of $45,000 on the table. The board decided to counter at 55. Prospective, buyer now has come back at $50,000 for your consideration. So you have a contract there at 50.
And I looked that over today. I guess this happened 2 weeks ago and I wasn't in here,
Yes,
but, $50,000, unless somebody really wants to throw a red flag at it, I feel like we should, go ahead and take this offer. I'll make the motion.
All right, I have a motion by Commissioner Thursby, do we have a second?
I'll second the discussion.
Commissioner Mazette for discussion.
Yeah, we had a prior, contract on it for 50 that we accepted and it fell through. We felt good about it then. I feel good enough about it now, so, my second will stand.
All right, any further discussion?
No, I just want to say I agree with Commissioner Bazell on
Yeah,
that. We
I
got
agree with
50, let's just hope it works.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Okay. The next item we have is the Gulf Coast Workforce Development Board lease. Mayor and myself had a good meeting with, the Workforce Board on Friday. The items we discussed was, if you take you have a handout there, that was the previous lease agreement that was brought before you from the Workforce Board. And we had also talked about adding in there, from the Workforce Board, $50 for consideration of, rental space to store their equipment in. So basically, the outcome of the meeting was the other day, the recommendation was to keep the lease at the 12 weeks on there. the workforce board would keep the summer program or the after-school program going for us. The city would actually be in control of the gym 10 months out of the year. The workforce board would keep the summer program going as intact on there. Ms. White, is there anything else that you can think of that we might have left out of there in our discussion?
Well, yeah, we need to talk about the kitchen.
The kitchen.
Basically what we came up with was we would, keep this after-school program going as it is, and with paying, we don't pay the people that work there, it comes through CCDF, but we still had a 2-hour program, during the week and the 3 hours on the weekend, but basically it would be in the hands of the city. We would just have people there, because we're just providing a service, is all we're doing, is providing a service. And we're overseeing the payroll, and we make sure the gym stays clean, but that's all we're doing. And then the city, but it would be in the hands and control of the city. And then at the beginning of summer camp, we would go with a city employee to make an assessment of the equipment and the kitchen, and see if anything needs to be repaired and everything. At the end of the summer, we could look back, turn it back to the city at the end of the summer program. It's in your hands for the rest until the next year. And we would provide adequate tables and chairs for the public's use. However, anything that we'll take an inventory of that at the beginning and at the end. If anything's missing, of course, the city would be responsible for that too. Am I missing out on anything else?
I spoke to Commissioner Quinn today as well, and he mentioned he could help wherever he could with the work crew or whatever. So
He does. Every time I call him, he's right there.
I appreciate what they do. They definitely do a good job. I know they don't want the after-school program in the lease, and that's all right. I guess we'll get a trade-off, but, at the end of the day, we're all liable for whatever happens there, so no matter what, whether you're in the lease or not, if you're running the program, you're gonna be somewhat liable for it. So I'm fine with it.
We also discussed the air conditioning.
Yes, I've got
We
that.
have a motion?
I'll make a motion to move forward with that. If y'all are all in agreement with that, let's move forward and get this thing.
We have a
put
motion
together.
to accept this contract from Commissioner Thursday. Do we have a second?
I'll say.
Second by Commissioner Lowry.
Did you feel comfortable with it, Mr. Attorney?
Yes,
Everything good for you?
yeah, I just need to construct the lease with those things in there. It's also the term, instead of the 12-week nomenclature, it's just gonna be from May 15th to August 15th on the summer program.
Okay, so it's being specific dates.
Specific dates.
Good.
I'm good with that.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. All right.
Joanne, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Appreciate what you do.
I would appreciate you guys.
On the new business, the first item we have is the PSJRA membership. Commissioner Bezet want to talk to you tonight about it.
Actually, that's old business, but either way, for the same reason that I asked for it to be tabled last meeting, I'd like for it to be tabled tonight. Commissioner Ashbrook is not here. He's the one that brought it up at a prior meeting. I think he has some interest in this. So if the board will allow it to be tabled, I'll table it for the next meeting. If not, we'll go ahead with it.
The same courtesy was showed to me, so I definitely want to show the same courtesy to Commissioner Ashbrook, so I'm good with that.
All right, so we just table that. Next meeting. Okay.
The next item we have is RFP 2017-03, the FERDAC grant request to bid playground equipment. We're finally getting ready to bid out the playground equipment for Tom Duder Park. Basically what we have left is approximately $38,900 left in the grant out of the $50,000 for playground equipment. Our thinking was, why don't we put a little bit of city money in there too to try to get us the best piece of playground equipment we can on there. We're thinking somewhere right around $40,000. Playground equipment is expensive. And this would actually be us putting this together ourselves. We're hoping it comes with good directions, but we want to try to save some money. but we're thinking right around $40,000 would probably be a good number to put in there to see what we.
Jim, do we have any money left in Parks and Recs, or do you think that's something we need to get creative and try to find funds from another source to fund that?
It's gonna be tight. What we have is approximately, what do we have, a little over $9,000,
We have a
Mike?
little, $9,600 remaining in our, recreation for the supplies for parks.
Yeah, and we got fall season coming up, we got the height of the season coming up for our park, so we were kinda very.
Guys, I'll throw something out there at you, and y'all tell me what you think, but, I'll make the motion, if y'all feel good about it, that we take, how much, what's the difference here that we're needing about? Would you
Well,
say?
we think we have about $38,900 left.
You're thinking that we're gonna probably need about $3,000 maybe?
You know, I'll be honest with you, that playground equipment, if you look at the Pirate Park, or that's down at, by Frank Payne, and if you look at what's behind the elementary school, that stuff's probably $60,000 or $70,000, guys. That stuff is very.
So, and we looked at the behind the stack house, last year, me and you and John and all of us, we met with a lady down there, and I could not believe the price that she told us. We're talking $70,000. I don't know, maybe at this point, we need to do anything, but my thinking is on this, guys, say we need to put $10,000 with it. If this comes up before the closing of this lot, the Commerce Park lot, why couldn't we maybe take funds from BP, borrow $10,000, say, if it was $10,000 or $4,000 or whatever, take that money out of BP. At the closing of the, lot at Commerce Park, repay those BP funds with that money. And unless somebody's got a better idea than I did, and I'm okay with that if they do, I don't know. I'm just trying to.
I don't think it's a bad idea, but I think maybe I'd rather see what we can get $38,000 first, and then we can always add more equipment down there if we need to. Instead of, shoot for the moon right off the bat, let's maybe start low end and maybe add to it as we go.
Do we may possibly, Rex maybe go out for, an RFP and see what it comes out for? And what, for some equipment, because I'm all for what you're saying, but from what I've seen, I don't think we can get anything more than a couple of pieces of equipment.
Don and Mike are, know exactly probably what we can put down there for that amount of money. I'd rather let them, instead of going out some kind of bid or RFQ, just let them come back and say, this is what we can do through our, vendors that we know.
Well, you can use,
And then we can put it out for those specific pieces.
you could use the playground that was just installed at Washington Gym as a sample of about what.
How much was that?
It was-
We had a FERDAP grant.
It was in the mid-40s, but that included installation and a bunch of other stuff.
So-
It's probable you get something comparable to that for the same amount of money as we have currently.
All right, I'm good with that. I mean, I'm fine with that, guys. What does staff think about that? I mean, John, I don't wanna have a bunch of equipment sitting there, but I know right now you're backed up, and I understand that. I don't wanna add to the list any more than what we already do, so.
Well, it really, it'll come down to timing on when it's, delivered and everything else. I don't think that should stop us from trying to maximize on the dollars. We'll find a way to install it.
So y'all wanna just let's move forward with 38,000, if they need a
Well,
little bit
yeah,
more, we
let's
just come
go.
back with it
I'm-
and give them a little bit more to add to it, if they come back at 40 or 45 or something, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I feel more comfortable about doing that.
I'm good with that.
Make a motion to, buy playground equipment for Duder Parker Park, not exceed $38,000.
Say 38.9.
Whatever.
I think we got 38.9.
The remaining funds.
Remaining
Funds
funds.
which is approximately 38.
There we go.
That'd be my motion.
I'm gonna ask a question on that, but I just say we got remaining funds, where did the other money come out at?
We had some other elements that we had to complete in the grant. They won't let you just put a piece of playground equipment in there. We had to do some rehab work. We had to do a little bit of work to the provisions, the bathroom, so
Okay.
we had to do some other elements
All
too.
right, I'm good, I just need to know. Thank
Yes,
you.
All right, we got a motion from Commissioner Brazil, we have a second.
Second.
second by Commissioner Thursby. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Okay.
Right.
All right, the next item we have is defer that committee membership. Mayor Patterson wanna talk to you tonight about it.
As everybody, I'm pretty sure is aware, we've had one of our FERDAP members, drop off. So we need to be thinking about adding somebody in that person's place. So all I want to do tonight is just get you guys to thinking of maybe someone you think would be good to be put on this FERDAP board. And next time, put it on the agenda for next time, so maybe we can add that person at that time.
I think also too, while we're talking about that, Mr. Mayor, is I would also maybe, Jim, I'd like to go ahead and let's call a meeting with all these people that we have. If you'll set the time up, I'll be there. The reason I say that is I wanna know who still wants to be on that committee.
Sure.
I also want your guys' thoughts on another thing. And I'm not saying one way or the other, I want your thoughts, but if we're gonna have a FERDAP committee, and we're gonna spend money that's given to us by the state, do y'all feel like that possibly that everybody that is on this board, I feel like they do, needs to live in the city of Port St. Joe? I feel like right now.
In the city of Port St. Joe,
Do what?
FERDAP grants money to the city, right?
I feel like that we need to look at that, there's several people on here that I still need, I want for advisory. But, and I'm not saying we need to just ask them, listen, you're not living in the city anymore, we're leaning towards moving this way. How do you feel about it?
There's only one person that I can see that's not a city resident. Am I missing somebody?
There's a couple.
Huh?
There's a couple on there.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I thought all those people.
Glenn
Well-
Davis is one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr.
Okay,
Yeah,
I mean, gosh, Mike's on there and he's like
Mike.
the lead guy.
Well, and Mike could also, though, I feel like that we've got an agreement with Mike that he is gonna stick by our side and be our, I mean, we had this conversation earlier, and I think Mike's gonna be right by our side.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, you got good talent. I hate to throw
I
good
didn't
talent
know,
to the
and
side.
listen, Rex, I promise you, I had this conversation already about this, and I know, and I think that Mike's aware of where I'm going with this, and Mike's gonna continue to work with us.
like we said too earlier today, we're at y'all's disposal. Y'all know where to find us. If y'all want us to sit on any meetings to help y'all advise y'all, we're here.
I didn't blindside Mike, I promise y'all.
All right, anything else? All right, the last item we have under new business is the Washington GMAC. Mayor Patterson's gonna talk briefly tonight about it.
Yes, as Jim said, we sit down with the workforce board and, worked out the agreement and all on the lease and in the conversation, we got to talking about the air conditioning problems in that gym. We have 2 air conditioners. Neither one of them are in real good shape, but one's in real bad shape. And, we just been piecing it together year after year after year. And while we were in that meeting, County Commissioner Quinn was in the meeting too. And, we need to do something here, and I challenged him that we would figure out that $10,000. It could be that, it could be a little less, but Commissioner Quinn, to my understanding, went this morning and secured $5,000 for his part for the county. And, I was just wondering if I could get somebody to entertain a motion of us taking $5,000 from BP money. Let's get this air conditioner fixed. That's gonna be as cheap as we will ever get it on our part, now that the county's willing to help us.
And I wasn't at that meeting, Commissioner Lara was there,
That's it.
it did go through.
And the way I understood it is even if the new unit cost us $8 grand, they still gonna fork out
Or have to
5.
and the other can be
Yeah.
used for whatever.
Right.
Improve the quality of the building or whatever.
Whatever we wanna put forward.
Right.
Mayor, I would rather, we hit BP so much, I would rather piggyback on, Commissioner Thursby's earlier comment. I'd rather take it out of the proceeds from the sale of the Commerce Park lot. And,
In other words, we can borrow it from BP and then pay it back.
or, you know.
If it comes time.
The closing's probably gonna be before we're able to get this work done anyway, so I think, you know, just go ahead and say we're gonna take it out of the proceeds and
And in the event that doesn't
send them
happen, I
write a
don't
check
think
and then pay themselves back or whatever they wanna do.
Yeah.
So you put that in form of a motion?
Yeah, I'll make that in form of a motion, then whatever our share of the AC, and we're gonna have to bid it out anyway,
Right.
so.
We may get lucky on this because our bid threshold is $10,000, so what we'll do is we'll try to acquire quotes to
Okay,
begin
good.
with, so we may be able to do this
Get it
with just
done-
quotes,
get it
and
done
be able to get it
quicker
done
that way.
quickly, yes.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway, that's my motion.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Brazil, do we have a second?
I'll say.
Second by Commissioner Third. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you guys very, very much.
Well, let me make you guys aware, and if you're not already aware, and the audience too. The air conditioners at Centennial Building, 4 of them, they're in bad shape. So we're gonna have to,
We're gonna want to do one at a time like we're doing this.
we're having an event with 500 people next month. The library just had a big event, the chamber just had a big event. We have a lot of events there, and matter of fact, Mayor, you and I were there one night when it wasn't working, and we couldn't get it to work, so something down the line, we're gonna have to.
Guys, I'll tell you, the way I
We're gonna have to
feel
bite
about
the
it
bullet.
is, that I feel like it was a blessing in disguise for this property to come available out there that we just sold for $50,000. We've got the air conditioner there that we're replacing. We've got one at the Stack House that's on the slash leg.
Yep.
We got the ones at the Centennial Building. If we had to spend $25,000-$30,000 out of that money to go ahead and replace that, so that we're not having to go up on ad valorem taxes next year for stuff like that, I would definitely be all in favor of that.
It's found money, and not only that, since I've been on this board, we've written checks for, almost $15,000 for, homeowners association, property owner at Commerce Park on a
We're
piece
saving money.
on a piece
Rick.
of dirt that we've never done anything
I
on,
agree.
so.
I
So
agree.
that alone is $1,500 a year, right there.
Hey,
So,
You might have forgot one, one here.
Yeah, absolutely. So y'all, this may be for AC.
instead of it being a BP fund, we'd have air conditioning.
AC, you have a BP on AC. I'm good with that.
But anyway, I thought I'd throw that out.
No, you're correct, and anytime we have found money like that, I think that it's a benefit to the taxpayers to, let's put it to good use.
Jim, that does it?
Yes, sir, that's all I have.
All right, John?
Sir, the only item I've got on the agenda was just an update, regarding the FDP requirements we spoke about several meetings ago. We're moving forward with that. The valve exercising maintenance program has been written. I believe our attorney is working on the, cross-connection control program and the resolutions thereof. So we're moving forward with that. Been in contact with John Pope from FDEP, so he understands where we're at. So, maybe by next meeting, we have more information to give you guys for perhaps adoption or approval.
We'll have to have a software program or something, I understand,
We have located a program that, supposedly Panama City Beach is using. And I've got an email into Al Short, to find out who that person is that might be using that software. Now, obviously, I wanna talk to a few folks before we make that purchase to make sure that it is what it is. But there is some software that, will become necessary to implement both of these. Correct.
good deal. Thank you.
All right. Anything else for John, for anybody? Larry?
Mr. Mayor, we got on the agenda again about the St. Joe Beach tank repair. Need to see if y'all let us go out and bid for it, get that booster station back online.
I'm talking to Larry, this is something we definitely need to do. We have a problem downtown and we're gonna have a problem out there. So,
Is it the one that last year that we put out for bids and it came back a lot more than what we thought it maybe should have?
We had thought about replacing the whole bid one time, and it was up
Is that where the cost was at when we put out for bid for that, or was it just for
Well, we
the?
did go out to repair too, yeah.
And it was still high, wasn't it?
No,
No, not that
not
bad.
to be honest with you.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna go back out for repair?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Motion for that or what?
I make a motion that we move forward with that. I do think that probably the people that put in the bid before, maybe we'll see if they're a little bit hungrier than what they were before, so maybe they should be contacted, say, hey, we're gonna do this one more time. Sharpen your pencil.
We got a motion from Commissioner Thursby, I need a second.
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Lowry. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. All right. Wastewater, Kevin?
Yeah, I'd like to ask you guys if you could open up a sick pool, for sick leave for one of your wastewater employees.
We've done that in the past, I believe, with people with Don Hadley. I think that's a great idea. We kind of explain to the people and the board of what you're talking about a little bit, because I know what you're talking about, I like it.
Yeah, I can't call a name because.
No, I don't
of
want you to,
rules, but,
absolutely.
We've got an employee that's been ill, it's a good employee, and, they just can't seem to find a handle on what's causing it. He's fighting for all he's worth, he's run out, you have to run out of your sick leave and your annual vacation before, anything can be transferred over.
And this means that the other, his co-workers will donate some of their time to that to make, to help him.
Right.
Basically is what we're saying.
Just a donation from one employee to the next.
Yeah.
I think that's extremely admirable that
I do too.
others are willing to give up their time, and I support it 1,000%.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Thursby, second by Commissioner Bissett. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Anything else, Hope?
We're spraying, a while back we had a little, leak in the tank, piping tank. It seems to be holding fine, and we can run as we are on the low end of the tank. And we'll probably do that as long as we need to until it gets worse. Hopefully we get a long time down the road, but who knows? How long this will take. Right now we're just spraying, we're just running as best we can. Yeah, it's doing all right. Just keep pushing. Thank you, man.
City engineer, come on up.
Yes, sir. Couple updates. Last meeting, y'all awarded the boat ramp project to North Florida Construction. So over the last 2 weeks, we signed contracts. They turned in the bonds for insurance and all those things. We started sending us submittals. We're reviewing those, sending them back, so any materials ordered. Probably a 3 to 4 week lead time on the steel, it's just kind of the way it is. So, we're waiting on a hard delivery date on material to get a start date. When we get down there and close the boat ramp and I do material work with. So, I'll inform you as we know more, get a start date, get a delivery date for material, that kind of thing, but that's where we're at with that one. Long Avenue, no real updates, other than we're, still moving forward on that. The Jones Homestead Sewer, the agreement has been signed by the city, the grant agreement has been signed by the city, sent back to DEP, and DEP executed, sent back to the city, and that will get ready to. That's what those are.
On the Long Avenue, is there anything else we gotta do before we can start paving? What all we gotta do before we start paving?
So we're finalizing the water plans, the water line replacement plans, and that's kind of where the ball is in our court for that. The city put in a request for some additional funding from DOT, actually through Representative Shears, but I don't think we've heard anything back from that. But, I don't know where that is exactly, but I know that was put in, but we're working on the water line, that was the purpose, get the water line part of it done, get a plan for the sewer, and roll it to the main.
Well, Clay, just for folks listening and out in the public, the whole Long Avenue project is not contingent on that 700,000 that we're trying to get, is it? I mean, I thought way back when we had enough money to pave Long Avenue up to a certain spot. And then we started getting into some of the other things, and then we got to look.
It's not holding up, Mr. Answer your question, it's not holding up progress. We do think there's $1 million in the road bond, will take the project quite a ways. Some things that would affect that would be trying to get some more funding. And so that was the reason for March 17th.
Folks are chomping at the bit and getting that thing paved and make our city.
Rex, what I've been doing is giving everybody Clay's phone number that's had it. Hey, Clay, do you have a birthday in your family?
Today, sure do.
Kinsley? Yep. 3 years old? Tell her happy birthday.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, code enforcement, demolition project update, Jim Moore.
Yes, sir. Yes, we are getting close on this, Mayor. What we have, so look in your package for the handout, we do have a hold harmless identification agreement that has been presented to us from the county, and it lists the 4 properties that we've been trying to take care of the demo for. Had a good conversation with Mr. Butler today. The plan is right now that the county will actually help with the demo and separate out the wood for us. So this should bring down our tipping fee substantially for the city on there. So we just need y'all's blessing to move forward on this thing, Mayor.
I mean, we have 4 houses here, we want to just change it down.
So moved.
Bad houses.
And guys, I'll make a motion, but I want to say this before we go any further. And I'm gonna say this to the public. Over the past few months, this county has stepped up. We got a good group of guys on that county board now, and we're all starting to work together, all as one. And I can tell you, it's not gonna do anything but benefit our city and our county for us to all do that. And I just want to tell you that we're making things happen today that in my lifetime of watching politics happen, I haven't seen. I want to thank the county for that.
All right, we have a motion, Commissioner Third, you have a second?
I'll say.
Second by Commissioner Lowry, any further discussion?
Yes.
Come on up.
Mr. Davis, background president. At our meeting, we had, they brought a question to us about the house on Avenue C, Sims house. Based upon third man, which is, Fry, they said something to us about they wanted to check that house off the list, and I wanted to know that they mentioned that to Jim.
I have not heard that.
But we want to get that corrected because they brought it to our meeting that they wanted to take and renovate their house themselves. And I wanted just to make sure that they had brought it to Jim because they had, they brought it to us. And if it's one that, coming off, maybe we can replace it with another.
Chester, I think that probably does nothing more than a phone call tomorrow, Jim can make, find out, because we don't want to tear a house
Right,
down.
right.
Somebody doesn't want to tear it down.
But I'm saying it was brought to us.
I appreciate you giving us,
And if that's the case.
heads up, absolutely.
I do know they need to move along if they're gonna remodel, because the lady next door is ready for it to do something.
Sure, right, we can't just say take it off there because they want to take it off. I mean, they have to show some progress.
I agree.
Yeah, I think.
But we assumed that they had already called you.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'll check
Jim,
on
just get with them and kind of tell them that we're looking too, so if they're gonna do that, we need to go ahead and get started on doing that. Okay, so, it's already been approved to be torn down.
And one other thing on this money would come out of your tipping fees. We do have about a flex of about $20,000 in there, so that, I just want you to know that's where that money will come from, out of your solid waste tipping fees.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
General update, everybody's getting their reports from Richie every, week, I assume. He said the grass is growing. You got a yard and grass is growing, take care of it. If you got a neighbor whose grass is growing, ask them to take care of theirs. They don't take care of it, we gonna take care of it for them. We're not gonna let the town get looking bad, I'm telling you. We've already had to do a lot. We've had good cooperation on a lot of people, so we just wanna make sure we stay on top of that. Police department.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
One of these flyers, you've probably seen it, disseminated all over town. This has been disseminated at the elementary school, Faith Christian School, every daycare, and I'm just bringing it to your attention. I went and invited everybody at the county commission meeting this morning, but this is my last opportunity to mention it here. A week from Saturday, we're having an event at Frank Park. We've kind of started calling it the Port St. Joe Police Department Family Fun Day. It's gonna be centered around a bicycle and bicycle helmet giveaway. You're all aware of that. We got 10 bicycles donated from the Lions Club Centennial Bank that we're giving out. Centennial Bank's putting up their big tent that Friday. They're gonna be giving away hot dogs and drinks and chips. Everything's free. Woodman Life will be there with their vending trailer giving out snow cones and popcorn. We had a vendor last week call that's gonna put up a petting zoo and pony ride. So all this is free. The Methodist Learning Center is setting up a booth and gonna do face painting. So it's just about turning into a carnival or something.
All right.
Anyway, just wanted you to be aware of it, come out. We're hoping for a good turnout. That's all I got.
Once again, Chief, thank you. This is what we wanted.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, Chief.
All right, the city clerk's not here tonight, you see.
She's actually,
We got a lot of sickness going around here. Mike, you made it, right?
Yep, I'm here.
John and Kevin will be more.
I've already had it.
You already had it?
I'm good. He may not be.
All right, we have any citizens wish to be heard tonight? Any citizens wish to be heard? Come on up, Ms. Amy.
First of all, I invite each and every one of you here tonight to, the Black History Soul Food Fest. We do it annually, it's been going on for over 36 or 7 years now. And, it's free. Everybody just come in and learn a little bit of heritage, about our heritage and what the significant contribution the African American made to the country and to this community. This year we're focusing on education, that's the national focus on education. And we're focusing on the Washington Gym. It was, there built in 1950, but there's gonna be a lot of slideshows, a lot of talk, a lot of things that some people do not know, and some of the educators that came out of the Washington Gym and how it all started. I met a guy who was very strange. I met a guy that lives over on Monument Avenue, and he was very active in getting the first principal at the Washington Gym. I can't remember his name, just someone, I think it's a Williams on Verge. I think it's Williams, and he lives right on Monument Avenue. He told a whole lot of history about the first principal and some of the people, and he's like one of the living people. Some of y'all been in my 80s, 90s that still exist, and he's not on it.
Hubert Richards?
Yeah,
Hubert Richards?
yeah, and then he, it was amazing. His memory, and he got, Steve Berry. He remember I can't kind of really remember some of the things that he was speaking of.
He's very knowledgeable.
Yes, and he worked in the school system here in at Port St. Joe High School, and
He was in, I'm old, and he was my elementary school principal.
yeah.
So, he's been around a while.
Yes, indeed, and met his son-in-law and all. I thought that was very interesting. But it's what a coincidence that this year the national is focusing on education, and all of this is coming to place. And I had that brief moment speaking with him about that. But again, we invite you all to please come out 6 o'clock. We're looking for the city workers, officials, everybody in the community. Snowbirds, we invite everybody because this is a good time this year to celebrate education and what people from attended Washington High moved away, and some that's here right now, achievements and contribution they made to the community. So we also need someone from the city to present that proclamation.
What day is that on?
This Friday, March the 24th. This Friday, not March, in February, I'm getting it March, this Friday, February the 24th. This Friday.
At 6 p.m.
Can you take care of that?
At the, where is this?
At the Washington Gym.
I'll be there.
At the Washington Gym. And,
Amy, one question. Isn't the school having their program at 9 o'clock at the school on Friday?
I thought they usually have it on Thursday.
Nope.
Have they moved it to?
I thought Ms. Cruz told me it was gonna be
9
on
a.m.
Friday at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay,
That's
Friday at 9.
Friday morning.
Yeah.
No, because they usually have it Friday morning at 9 o'clock. And Friday evening, give you time to rest, close it out at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock.
And Miss Amy told me if y'all hadn't ever tried any tunes,
That's right.
this is your opportunity. Correct.
Some of the best coons you ever ate.
I challenge you.
Chitlin, best
Chitlin.
chitlin you ever ate.
I
Sweet
challenge you
potatoes,
guys to come
best
with
sweet
me.
potatoes you ever ate,
Have it
everything.
all right.
And have fried
Hey.
chicken, it's gonna be on the menu.
Staff, I challenge you guys too to come try some with me.
Yeah.
Alright. Is it? John just saying that, so he can say he's already tried it. Okay.
Pig feet, everything.
Alright.
We'll have to talk about blood pressure and all that shit, we have to buy, but, I want y'all to please come out and celebrate with us. The other, item I wanted to address is about, we talked sometime in the past, I know Rex, you was on the board, about a memorial for our first African-American, city commissioner, Mr. Alton Fennell, who retired honorably from the St. Joe Paper Company. And what they did, before the park was, the old baseball park was taken away, they dedicated that to, Mr. Alton Fennell. We had signs, we had a memorial program for that, and then that's when the new thing came in with the road coming in there. But I'm requesting that if somewhere, that we could have, we can't do with a plant outside the city or inside City Hall, or something to, let's get back on talking, how can we keep his memories alive and where he came out. He said, he served faithfully, honorably, and he's very dedicated to the city. But we talked about that, we talked about even in the future, some parks coming up to name something after him, but we did settle on that baseball park and it was torn down. So if we can get, something, a centerpiece, something, in memory of Mr. Alton Fennell, let's talk about that and see what we can come up and keep his memories alive. The other issue I just, wanna bring up is the water fountains at the Peters Park. Thank you all, I went on the parks this last week and before. Thank you for taking care of the paving, and, Quinn, I think we brought that up at the county last year too. So that's very well, it's done very well done. But the water fountains, what is the, status of what can we do to get those water fountains working on the park?
Do we have one for that particular one, John?
The one on, close to the end to the Peter Street, and, at the end, like you're going towards that plant.
Where the parking lot is?
No, not with, this water fountain is not working. We had one for the parking lot a long time ago back there, somewhere around the gazebo. But we got one that's actually right close to Peter's on the end, like
My
the
avenue.
last, yeah.
The entrance.
Yes,
the entrance
entrance
is-
on that side.
Yeah, that's where the parking I was talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I
I'm
thought you
sorry,
said,
yeah,
we
yeah.
call it first on
The
Kennedy
entrance is
Street,
what I
on
call
Kennedy
it.
Street is the entrance, yes.
Yeah.
We call it.
You're gonna have to buy another one, Mayor, if you want one there. I mean, it was damaged and kept getting damaged, so it ended up just not working.
How much will it cost?
How much was that?
Is it
We
more
buy
than
three for $10,000 or something like that. I thought we did. So
Would you make a motion to take that from anywhere other than just general fund or?
Hold on.
Does Amy wanna look into it?
Oh, I'm talking about fountain that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
When you said that, I thought.
Oh, she's talking about drinking fountain.
She never
What about
said
drinking
she never
water
said
fountain?
drinking fountain, she just said
What fountain
fountain.
y'all talking about
We
there?
talking about a big fountain that's very
Oh,
We're
no.
thinking of a drinking fountain.
Drinking.
but that can't be too expensive, yeah.
Okay.
We'll check into it.
Yeah.
John,
Let me get some prices for next meeting.
All right,
Oh.
let us look into it, Ms. Amy.
All right, and then, if you can get in contact with Duke Energy, the light on Martin Luther King, corner Avenue D,
Oh, Vernon?
no, it's Avenue, Avenue C and Avenue D is not gonna miss out. Miss Dawes.
What was that location?
On Avenue B and Martin Luther King and Avenue C. It's not working.
All right, thank you, Amy. Anyone else from the public? Oh, y'all don't fight over it, just come on.
I'm gonna break his leg if he can't get to the podium. Okay, I'm Lisa Matthews. I just have one question and I'll be quick with this. Several people have approached me saying, when are we gonna finish the, water pipes?
Jim? I mean, we're waiting on our money to come in.
Oh,
I mean, it's
so,
been applied, it's been approved, and we got money from other places too. We got plenty of money coming to fix it. It's just, we gotta wait
Okay. Do
We
you know
signed the-
approximately how long?
We signed the grant agreement for the $80,000, Ms. Letha, that's coming from the Water Management District. What we're hinging on is the money come from the Department of Economic Opportunity. That's the big pot of money. That's the $650,000. They don't get in any hurry, Ms. Letha, to get that money to us.
Well,
There
you
was a
know the
couple of
government
requirements.
works very slow.
We called them about a week and a half ago, and they told us we're working on it. We had to even notify the Indian tribes, Ms. Letha, to find out if if they had any problem with putting in the water lines. And that's the truth, yeah.
Did they have any problems with that, Jim?
We got 2 responses back that they didn't have a problem, the other ones didn't respond back.
All right, at least I have something to tell them, but
All right.
you guys have a good evening.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
I'm gonna be very brief, just very brief, very brief. One of them was based upon our last Tuesday meeting, y'all accept the master plan. Do we have any other further discussion on that for tonight, or was that just based upon what we concluded? Last
Well, actually, we need to get that on the agenda for the next meeting, cause the downtown redevelopment unanimously voted to recommend to the city that the city approve it. So now we got to get that on the agenda, if you will. The master plan for Northport St. Joe.
It's an addendum
Exactly.
So,
to the original plan.
That's what I was concerned about, I hadn't heard.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up, cause that just slipped through the cracks, so
Should've been on the line.
it'll be on the next.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're not trying to put it off, we just
we dropped the
I didn't
ball.
hear, so I just wanna make sure. The second one is this, right, I wanna vow to Ms. White and to the board that made the contract right. We're gonna work with her, we're not gonna try to fight, what the work program has. My agenda for the PAC president is to work with that Jim and try to bring some other proceeds in that'll be a blessing. That when it comes down to paying light bill or whatever it is to run the air conditioning, we're gonna try to support that 100% so that we can be able to work with John White on that right there. And the last one is I already invited you guys for the 4th, March the 4th, that evening at 5 o'clock. If that's not a conflict with the chief. We're gonna have the Old West Primitive Baptist Association churches coming to Port St. Joe from 5 o'clock until they come out that night. We'll ask our mayor to represent them, but he can have someone else to
Yeah,
stand in his place.
I'll be out of town.
But we're inviting the entire city to come. Whatever food left from that, we're gonna try to serve also. So we appreciate you coming out for that. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Anyone else? Anyone else in the public? All right, Commissioner Zed, we'll start with you.
Mayor, I'm still. Okay, I'll scratch that off my list. 2 things, first I'd like to commend Jim and the work he's doing with the city. We give him a lot from up here, but he has a whole lot more to do than what we give him, and certainly appreciate it. Look forward to working with you for a long time. Second thing, flu shots are still available. There's a lot of flu going around. And you guys that haven't gotten the flu shot and think you're not gonna get it, I think the city hall right now is a prime example of why you need to get one. We're down to about 3 people there, so, they don't cost you anything, and it's not too late to get one. So if you don't get one, wash your hands good and stay away from folks that might have it. So, that's all I got.
Commissioner Lowry.
Got 2 things that kind of revolve around somewhat the same. I had a conversation with John a couple days ago, and we've got a pile of debris on the right of ways right now. And he mentioned maybe using some overtime to pick up some of that stuff. I don't know what's been done in the past couple days, but do you think that it might help?
Well, I mean, like you were talking about, Commissioner, I mean, the only way to collect more throughout a week is to extend the times of collection. The only way you can do that would be to authorize overtime. Now, Mike, I'm not sure how much
certainly I think what's happened to us these last 2 months is it's been really warm. You know, for January and February, it's almost felt like summer. And usually this is the time of year we see a lull, you know, in yard debris and people working in the yards. We just haven't seen it. It's not that we haven't been on the same schedule we've always been on. It's just that the debris has, you know, gotten to the point where it's been because of the weather. So, you know, if we want to collect more, then that's certainly an option if the money's there to do that. Otherwise, you know, we can just, you know, keep plugging along 5 days a week as we're doing it.
Plus, we've had 3 winter storms back to back to back, so that's,
I know I put out more than
Me too.
usual. I mean, I'm sure if you.
and I'm getting calls on it, I don't know about y'all,
But if we need to do more overtime, I'm all for that. Whatever you guys think we need to do, we need to do.
So there's not, from a budgetary standpoint, as Mike was saying, we've got about $1,500 in advertising.
Not very much.
Not very much at all, so.
let's just keep moving forward like we are. Okay. My next item, I heard from a friend, there was another wreck there at Long Avenue in 71. And you hear about it all the time. The muley grass, I believe is what it is there, is one of the main issues there that I believe in. I really want to see us act on something soon. I don't know if it's tearing it out, and I know, you know, the staff did tear some out recently, but we've got to keep that stuff cut, or
Tear it out.
let's get it gone. And if it's a DOT issue, we need to send our traffic report, you know, what we can show as proof, to get that stuff torn out by them and replace, you know, something else. So
My line, ground cover or something, I agree.
So, as of right this second, I'd like to see if we can get, I'm fine with paying a contractor to get that stuff torn out. It is a major safety issue, not torn out, but cut right this minute because it's high. But I'm fine with that if the board is fine, if we can find somebody to get it cut right now.
Well, yeah, it's under contract by someone, and I think just a simple phone call by Jim to say, hey, we need this stuff cut, we need it cut down low as we can get it.
We have whacked on that stuff and whacked on it, that stuff
And
is
God,
tough.
I'm fine with us taking that stuff out within those 2 blocks right there, if y'all are. A life is a lot more important than that mule grass.
And that was a DRA project, I'm guessing.
Is it FDOT beautification project, so it came in from? Yeah, I'm really shocked that DOT allow that to be put in there.
I'm gonna kind of hold you kind of accountable on this. Will you reach out to DOT and start the process, because it's, something needs to be done. And I know everybody, just about everybody in this room has heard about the issue. So, thank you, Jim. That's all.
Mr. Thursday.
The only thing I got is, and Rex kind of stole my thunder a little bit, it's still yours, but I just want to thank staff. It's been a long time since I've thanked everybody here, everybody sitting at this table, Jim, Chief. We'll even thank old Clint, he ain't been here very long, we'll thank him too. But there's a lot of stuff that goes on throughout the week. I know with me, I'm calling one of these guys all the time, I know you guys are, and it takes a lot of us to get this whole thing working together. And I just want to thank you guys for your hard work. The other thing I want to talk about is, guys, not everybody gets on the computer and can see these meetings we have, and not everybody can get out. I've talked to Jim about it. I know Commissioner Ashbrook's also talked to Jim about it. I'd like to reach out and let's just see, you know, we cannot afford $15,000 a year, that's no doubt. But we need to see what we can do and reach out and see what we can do and possibly put these meetings back on TV, at least at some level or in some channels, because I hear that a lot, that people miss the meetings. They used to be able to keep in touch, keep up with what was going on within the city, and now they don't have a way to. So it may not be something we can afford, but I'd like to reach reach out and just find out, and see exactly what we can do, Jim.
I agree with you, I'm transparent, and I wanna be
I
transparent,
do
that's,
too, and that's
I
my
want
biggest thing,
information out there.
and I don't want it just to come from one source.
Yeah.
So, that's all I got, guys.
I have a couple of things. First, I just wanna mention, the passing of Miss Ann White. I know everybody that's been coming to these meetings, has been coming for some time, you know Miss Ann White. She always came to us with stuff when she felt like she needed to get something done, she didn't mind coming. And just said she passed away this past Saturday, and, she's gonna be missed by all of us, believe me. So just keep her family in your prayers, especially her husband. They were married 55 years. He told me days I didn't know I'd miss her so much. So just keep the family in your prayers, Miss Ann White. They had a ceremony today. But anyway,
That was my buddy, she always got on my case.
yeah, she got on everybody's case. She wanted to praise everybody. And the only other thing I wanna mention is, as Miss Charlotte told us at the last meeting, we got city elections coming up. Again, they seem to come up mighty fast when you're in office, like 2 years, just goes by quick, so. I would just like to make it known tonight, that I do intend to seek the office of mayor commissioner for the city of Fort St. Joe in the next general election. And I hope to get around and talk to each and every one of you during my campaign time. Other than that, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'm gonna be in the trial. I definitely want to get together.